our Godzilla Escape the Deadzone issue 1. It's our second issue of the Godzilla Kai-Sei era. And yeah, it was a very interesting issue because it's, whereas with Godzilla issue 1, we basically read the first half of it, or like the intro part of it, in the New Heroes. With this issue, it's like that New Heroes bit was kind of like
sort of in
a
the
couple
middle.
slices of like the middle of the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. Like, it was definitely the middle. We got, we cover that on the New Heroes review. But, the art's really cool, gritty looking. Like, it's just like this dirty Deadzone world. It's really cool. Like, we got to see in the intro how the Deadzone came to be. G-Day, which is also what they called it on Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, when Godzilla appeared. But here they called it the same thing. When Godzilla and the Kaiju came to Earth, they called it G-Day.
Yeah.
Big
I
explosion.
think it's a very just natural name.
Yeah, big burst of Kaisei energy wiped out Seattle. And that's where the Deadzone is. I believe the guy working in the office of the opening scene is the Wanderer, right?
Yes, he is the Wanderer.
Because the only thing is, like, when he was in the office, he had red hair, but like when they reveal him in the Wasteland, he's like blonde now. But it could be from the Kaisei energy. Clearly,
the Kaisei
he's
energy,
mutated.
could be from just sun bleached.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a cool little touch, and I feel like the way they built up the Wanderer in this issue was kind of cool because it was like it felt like Western, like guy at a bar spinning tales,
Yes,
type of thing, and he doesn't realize that the guy that he's talking about is the guy across the bar drinking with them.
Yes, and the
like,
guy
it felt very like,
and this whole Deadzone Wasteland, like, everyone's just like this grimy, dirty looking person. Like, nobody's normal. This guy at the bar had like this like makeshift robot arm. The bartender looked all like bulbousy. The bar itself was literally like a scrap heap. Like, he like was like, all right, there's a pile of cars here in a junkyard. I could make a bar in the middle of it. Like, that's what the bar was. It was like cantina. And he's telling all the stories. He's talking about Barney. He's like, remember Barney?
Yeah, I was like, wow, we're really getting a Friendly Dinosaur reference in here.
Yeah, and the one thing that I did not notice was that it was apparently one of the first Godzilla, like, somewhat mature comics that's been put out by IDW. Like, it's like,
there's some cursing.
Yeah, there's some cursing. Yeah, that's for sure, and it's gory. I mean, we'll get down to that now. I mean, last we left off with this from the New Heroes, he wanders through, he fights that thing that becomes his steed, seemingly, but then he sells it to these like vampire-looking people in exchange for some weapons. That's where he gets his gun, and like he's got like these, I don't know what they are. They almost look like artillery shells, but I don't know if it's like a container that holds something.
Yeah,
he's carrying those around, but he's got this like gigantic shotgun. We don't see him use just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we got our first like decent shot of him because he's very shrouded, the Wanderer, and he's like almost has like, I want to say like Velociraptor hands type of. It's almost like he's transforming into a Godzilla.
Yeah,
like he's got the tail. He doesn't have the dorsal plates. He's got like the claws. Like he's definitely turning into a kaiju.
He's got like these like red eyes with yellow retinas, and then like a mohawk.
Yeah,
a yellow mohawk, a blonde mohawk. But then he's wandering through the desert on foot now, and like these guys come by on a buggy, like, and they look like almost like ghouls from Fallout. Like, like,
I was definitely getting Fallout vibes from this too, especially him being called the Wanderer.
Yeah, especially the whole desert thing and those things. They almost reminded me of that. Is it Desertland? The Dragon Ball Z thing. The other manga that he made. It kind of reminded me of that.
Sandland.
Sandland, yes. It's kind of that like buggy thing. Kind of reminded me of that a little. That crew, but definitely like feral ghouls, and then like I said, we have the vampire guys. Nobody looks normal in the Wasteland, and even there's a part where he's walking through like I guess almost a town, and you can sort of see, yeah, I see like they're on the bug, they're like on a buggy. That's the feel I got.
Yeah.
Sandland, yeah. Um, like you see, there's like these guys with like pointy ears. They almost look like goblins, and when he's walking through the village after trading the seed away. So everyone's been mutated by this Kaisei energy, and they're not all glamorous like the Godzilla task force in Godzilla. But
Yeah, very stark contrast for stories that take place on the same in the same country.
yes,
You know, America's big,
yes.
big landscape.
I mean, the mainline story was taking place on the East Coast, whereas this is all the way on the West Coast, where the Deadzone is.
Yeah, and according to the U.S. government, they say that this land is just uninhabitable, nobody there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And we clearly see that that is an absolute lie.
It's thriving.
Yeah. Well,
it's sort of. It's surviving. Yeah, not thriving. Yeah, that was a really bad way to say it. Yeah.
Thriving.
Definitely not thriving. I called it a wasteland before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool. So like he's all of a sudden boom out the ground, two giant kaijus, one with the horn, another. I don't even know how you describe it. It looks just like this thing. I don't know how do you.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very unique design.
It's a very unique design. The designs, you know, when we first saw these pictures, they were going around the web a little before the comic dropped. I said that they remind me of monsters that you would see in the Godzilla '98 animated series, almost.
Yeah, yeah. To me, they seem like, you know, they're not polished like the Toho kaiju. These seem like experiments,
the mutants,
some type of like abomination, something that was mutated.
Yeah,
they don't seem like these polished Toho kaiju.
Yeah, like I
think the '98.
I thought there was a cover with them on it. I'm thinking of the video game. This is the only cover really with kaiju on it. It's just like the worm, El Gusano.
Yeah, they're very like amorphous.
Yes,
the way they look.
And he's basically has no like anything in it. Like he's just getting knocked around by these two, and the big horn one kind of knocks down the other one, and then it falls and it, like the chest like kind of explodes. So he goes over to it and he finds a little girl laying in it, and she opens her eyes and she's got very similar eyes to him, and it's saying this whole thing about like the past catching up to him. So I'm like, oh, is this like going to be like his kid or something like that? Because he did have like a picture that they showed before Godzilla attack. He's looking in his office, a picture of a woman like his girlfriend.
So this is how we know that it's him, is because he was looking at this picture of a woman, I'm assuming it was his wife, and he was like, looked like he was eluding a car, and it turns out it was actually his wife's car because there was a picture of her in it, or it might have been his car.
It was the same picture.
Yeah, the same exact picture, so it could have been his car. Or maybe someone stole it from his office building.
Like,
somehow we stumbled upon the picture.
Because when he sees the car and then he reaches over like the visor and he pulls it out, he's like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" Like he was like, "No way!" And then like he kind of like stares at the car for a little there, and then it talks about like, you know, like in the opening it mentions like how people had families and loved ones, so it's kind of alluding like that might have been him having the family. We don't know, but what we do know is pretty much the day this issue dropped, like Godzilla.com's like, you know what, let's just spoil like kind of the rest of the series right now. So here's some slight spoilers about the girl. Her name's Glass Eater. She's only one of two kids. The second kid is going to be called Runt. That's the boy. And they both have the ability to control kaiju. So when they go up to a kaiju, they touch it, they somehow get sucked into their bodies and can pilot them like biomechs. And we're going to find out that both of them were kind of part of this Church of Godzilla cult that worships Godzilla and they want to lure Godzilla back to the Dead Zone so that they can harness his power. And the next issue, the Wanderer and Glass Eater are going to have to escape this cult, and I'm assuming Runt's going to be there, and he's going to escape with them as well. So they're saying that these two kids, sounds like Glass Eater's a complete menace, but they're described as complete, vile, disgusting gremlins, is how Jake Williams put it in his interview on Godzilla.com about it. And it sounds like the dynamic between the Wanderer and these two kids is like something incredible, and I really can't wait to see it. Like the writing team, Jake, they're like, I could read hundreds of issues with this dynamic from what I've seen come out of this comic so far. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's going to be dropping next month. I believe it's September 16th is issue 2.
Yeah,
I think
looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Yeah, and then, before we know it, Kaisei 2 is going to be here. So we're going to be on, it's September 17th, I believe. Yeah, it's the comic book day that weekend, that Wednesday. So yeah, we're going to be rolling out these Kaisei reviews. Like I said, there's going to be a point where we have 3 of these comics, and we do comics on Wednesdays every Wednesday, and we can't have Godzilla taking up all 3 of our 4 Wednesdays each month. So I think we're going to designate a day of
like
each week, a Kaisei day. We haven't decided yet which day it is, but we're going to find one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested to see, how long the series, each series runs, and I'm like, which issues do I pick up? Which do I keep physical?
Yeah, you have to get the issue 1s. Now that it's on Global Comics, you can read them digitally, which is really cool. Read them at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, every Wednesday.
Super convenient.
And then I'd probably pick up the trade paperbacks. I believe, what was it? I have the notes here. I believe it's the Escape the Dead Zone and Starship Godzilla are going to be 6 issues each or something like that, or did I say?
I believe it's supposed to be 6-issue runs that can be extended.
Yes, they're going to be seasonal, these series.
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to it. I was trying to see if I could find the chat with Jake Williams. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Yes, 6 issues at a time. Yes, I found it. 6 issues at a time, seasonal, and it sounds like there's other series. So I believe as these get a few issues deep, I would say by the 3rd issue of Deadzone, we might have an announcement on the next series, maybe.
If we know 2 issues in, possibly 3 issues in is going to be. 2 issues in.
Yes.
Possibly 3 issues in is going.
Very likely.
So, we'll see.
Yes. So yeah, I would look out for it there, because
it's weird. That was almost a year ago now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I guess we're gonna be transitioning over to our next review, which is going to be